There we are. We are live. Yes, we're back. Very good to see you all here today. I think we've got, what, 30 odd people? Absolutely fantastic. I have got some really, really interesting space news and woo for us to all chill out, kick back, relax to before we head on over to the main KBS show today. But before we go anywhere, I want to give a big shout out to one of our very own, both here on KBS and in Glasgow. It's the bearded traveller's birthday. It really is his birthday today, and he is. Well, I'm not going to publicly say his age. That would just be absolutely terrible. It'd be rude.
How dare you?
Exactly, Greta. For once, I actually agree with Greta. I'm not going to dare do that. 5-0. Big birthday today, bearded traveller. You don't look a day over 30. You really don't. And wow, dude, how weird is this? Because when I woke up today, this is the final day of my latest journey around the sun as well. Yeah, I'm not quite 50 yet, but once you get past 40, it's all kind of an irrelevance, right? It all blends into one. I'm at that age now where I'm making noises that I shouldn't. I've got hair sprouting out of places that it never grew before. I inadvertently let out wind when I bend over. Yeah, the old spacesuit, it's really not optimal past the kind of 45 kind of age group. I don't know. I'm just being an ageist now, right? But yeah, 43 tomorrow, brother. Okay, Anne's going to pull me up on that one. I'm 44 tomorrow. I know, I'm at that point now where I'm trimming years off. I dare say bearded. By the time the night is out, you'll be telling people you're 46 today. It's okay, brother. It's okay. And I don't know about you, but when you get to this age, it gets a little bit nostalgic, right? Used to kind of laugh at these oldies when they said, when you get to my age, you'll know what I mean. I know what they mean. And they didn't even have the craziness of Clown World to put up with. They weren't tripping over clown shoes everywhere they go. Wasn't people with red noses on, honking the clown horns everywhere, right? We've got it so much tougher nowadays. But a big happy birthday to you, bearded. Absolutely, brother. Love you to bits. Now, did I see a super chat coming in there? I think I did. I am going to fix that. Toot sweet, as they say somewhere. Polly, you're an absolute legend, brother. Wait till I get I don't have an alert box on. That's what happened. You see, I've been getting all fancy with the kind of graphics and everything else, and then I go and forget, like, the most simple part of the stream. So, this one is from Polly Nation. Thank you very, very much, brother.
Time to spin one and grin some. PPP the fam with the body slam of awesomeness.
Awesomeness. And folks, if you tune into today's Kev Baker show, I'm going to try and make a point of taking Polly's phone call first. When I was speaking to Frank yesterday, I had to catch up with Frank, and sometimes I forget I'm on a radio show. I could sit and speak to the people for ages, right? But with Frank on, I seen Kevin was coming on, and Kevin's always got something really, really cool to get into. And when I looked at the clock, Polly, I thought, no. So I'm glad we've left it, because today you can get to speak longer. And for anyone else out there, we will be opening up the phones. Now, I think there's still a problem with the UK number. I'm sorry about that. I apologise. But we'll try and get that rectified. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into some really, really interesting space news in a moment. But I need to just go away for 1 second, folks, because something... Give me a minute here, okay? We're doing it live, everything on the fly. What's going on? People are wondering. Yes, there we go. There we go. Yes, the joys of living in the very dramatic part of the East End of Glasgow. You just never know what's going on round about you. It's crazyville here, folks. Maybe I'll tell you by the time the stream finishes. I don't know. Thankfully, it doesn't include me. Doesn't include me. But yeah, crazy. I tell you, you probably come here, you think that Kev Baker, he's got a handle on most things, you know, he talks about a lot of topics, knows what's going on. You've got no idea of the craziness that goes on just outside the periphery of this camera shot that you see here. Not in this house. Not in this house. Anne's laughing now because it was almost in this house if I'd kept going there. But yeah, never a dull moment in the East End of Glasgow, that is for sure. So I want to give, again, a big shout out to our good man, Bearded Traveller, birthday today. And that's a really significant one, brother. I hope your family, I hope your friends and everyone and you are able to have a really good time. So a quick shout out in the chat room, and then we'll get to this mysterious stuff that's going on in space. And this has had me scratching my head when I first came across it the other day. I wouldn't say any closer to working out what on earth's going on, but we're certainly going to look at that in just a moment, because on here we go into the chat room, we give people a shout out. It's chilled out, it's kicked back, okay? It's nothing serious, it's the pre-show live stream. So if you're looking for it fast and rapid, that big world headline that you're looking to take away from this ain't going to happen here. It ain't going to happen. There's going to be interesting stuff, that's for sure, but you have to chill out, you have to wait, you have to increase that attention span and hang around for longer, right? So then let's get into the chat room. We've got Pollination, Rose, Tiffany, Weapon. I love that name, Weapon. If somebody calls you a weapon in Glasgow, it's not a good thing. Lewis. We've got Lydia. Good to see you, Lydia. Connie again. Russell. How you doing, brother? I hope you're very much on the mend now. We've got Leona. Rose. Scrolling up, Rick, absolutely fantastic, and there's a brilliant name in the chat room, Brave New World. Oof, isn't it just? Ever read that book? Really good book, really interesting. I've actually read that book, and I haven't read 1984 cover to cover. Do you know that? I've seen the movie, but I've never actually read 1984 cover to cover. There's a project. So yes, Rick Anderson. Good to see you again, brother, as well. Another fellow Scotsman in there. Us Scotsmen, we smell nonsense from a mile away. I'm surprised the whole of Scotland isn't leading the kind of raising of consciousness, awakenedness, not wokeness, awakened. Yes, and I can't say awakening because that's been hijacked by those letters of the alphabet mob. So we've also got in here, let's see, I'm scrolling, Little Glob, good to see you. Tiffany, I think I got that one. Who else we got kicking about in the crazy room? Big shout out to Brian. Brian always pops in at the start to tell us he's lurking. So Brian, good to see you, brother. I hope you are enjoying the sunshine over there. I think it's Florida Brian's in, I think. Sidvich, big shout out to you as well, my good friend. Big shout out. So, with that said, shall we start to get into it? Shall we? So, remember some time ago, if you've been following the show, you'll know that I got really, really, really excited when two scientists came out from Caltech and they declared that they were pretty dang sure that there was a planet 9 out there on the outer limits of the solar system, right? Do you remember that? Might be a couple of years ago now. It was a couple of scientists called Mike Brown and Konstantin Batygin. I can't ever forget that Konstantin Batygin name. It's just one of those names, right? And we covered it a lot at the time. And Mike Brown, he's quite infamous when it comes to planets and planet hunting, and in particular planet killing. Because he's the dude that kind of stripped Pluto of its planetary status. And because we're in a world of flux, and the year's 2020 now, I don't even know if Pluto's a planet or if it's still kind of relegated to the sidelines of just a big kind of rock out there and amongst other massive big kind of rocks out there. So you remember all of that, right? Maybe some of you were with us when we were covering these stories. If you weren't, then we can just take a quick look at what the whole thing with Planet 9 was, because the story's changed. The story is morphing and it's becoming a whole lot more interesting. And on the face of it, an extra planetary body out there that we haven't seen. We had all of the world's telescopes hunting for this thing. That in itself, absolutely gargantuan news. And it was at the time. It got world attention. Now, with us now in 2020, similarly big, crazy space news is happening all the time, but nobody's noticing it. And that's why it's definitely time for us to talk about what they now think is on the edge of our solar system. But before we get there, let's take a look at what kicked all of this off, Planet 9. So we come over here and it says, and I get it folks, Wikipedia, people will say, Kev Bakery's a crazy shill for Wikipedia. It is what it is folks, right? So Planet 9 is a hypothetical planet in the outer region of the solar system. Its gravitational effects could explain the unusual clustering of orbits for a group of extreme trans-Neptunian objects. Now, that's not planets or moons that once belonged to Jupiter, and they've decided that they're Neptunian type objects trapped in the Jovian system. It's not like that. It's not a woke thing. It's, okay, it was a crap joke, but I tried. Bodies beyond Neptune that orbit the sun at distances averaging more than 250 times that of the Earth. How on earth did I manage to get into that there? I apologise, folks. I apologise. The ETNOs tend to make their closest approaches to the sun in a really flamboyant... No, they're not really flamboyant planets. I'm joking. And their orbits are similarly tilted. Now, these improbable alignments suggest that an undiscovered planet may be shepherding the orbits of the most distant known solar system objects. Nonetheless, some astronomers do not think that the hypothetical planet exists at all, based on detailed observations and studies. So based on earlier considerations, the hypothetical super Earth-sized planet would have a predicted mass of 5 to 10 times that of the Earth, and an elongated orbit 400 to 800 times as far from the Sun as Earth. And when you look at that there, this is the kind of orbit that, dare I say it, you could put, maybe frame something like the highly talked about, speculated on Nibiru, Planet X. A planet that makes a close approach to the sun once in a very, very, very blue moon, right? Pardon the pun. But you get me with that kind of thing. So, like I said, it was Konstantin Batygin and Michael E. Brown, Planet Killer, suggested that Planet 9 could be the core of a giant planet that was ejected from its original orbit by Jupiter during the genesis of the solar system. Now, others proposed that the planet was captured from another star, was once a rogue planet, or that it formed in a distant orbit that was pulled into an eccentric orbit by a passing star. Do you think it's just a bit kind of crazy, a bit quirky, being a bit eccentric like that? I'll stop it. I'm in a stupid mood today. I know. I'll try and calm down. But that was the whole kind of idea, and it's been rumbling on in the background. One of my favourite hosts, Clyde Lewis, host of Ground Zero, he has had on somebody called Professor Avi Loeb, and he works at Harvard. Now, he's also talked about the strange interstellar visitor that we had. Do you remember that really weird cigar-shaped, or as I sometimes looked at it, it looked kind of turd-shaped, to be honest with you. Oumuamua, remember that? Well, that dude and a bunch of other dudes have been looking at the whole Planet 9 thing, and they've come up with an alternative idea. And this is where it does get a little bit serious, because I don't know what the ramifications of this could be over time. If this turns out to be something at all. And what they're talking about is, I swear, folks, this is like just, it's crazy, okay? But what they're talking about, and this mysterious object that scientists are now trying to hunt for, yep, people talking about Planet X in the chat room. See, I think that's why they've done it. That's why they got rid of Pluto, because if this one had come along, it would have literally been Planet 10, Planet X. It's a whole tinfoil-lined rabbit hole that I could take you down there. But I'm going to stick to what we really know, that what really scientists are talking about, looking for right now. And this is uber weird. It doesn't need me to hype it up. It doesn't need to LARP around it or put icing and bells and whistles and secret whistleblowers on it. This is cool enough, just from what we're being told in the mainstream. Just check out what they think might be out there. They think it might be a black hole. Just let that sink in for a little moment, okay? Elusive Planet 9, thought to be lurking in the outer solar system, may actually be a grapefruit-sized black hole, and a new telescope will help astronomers confirm the theory. Now, I'm not going to go into this article, but I'll give you the bullet points you can see here. Clumping of objects beyond Neptune. Maybe it's always better to have a clumping of objects behind Neptune, because if you get one at Uranus, that's a problem. Maybe due to gravity of a large planet. And astronomers say that this Planet 9 could be up to 10 times the size of the Earth. But wait, it could also be a black hole that contains the mass of up to 10 Earths. And the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in Chile, or Chile, depending how you want to pronounce it, will take regular pictures of the whole sky. And Harvard researchers believe that this wide-field telescope could be used to detect signs of flares let off by comets as they come into contact with the black hole. Now, over here on a website that I need to thank Karen, our very own Karen, you can see her on the Rogues Gallery down here, along with the other esteemed individuals that we have kicking about down there. Hang on a minute now. No, I don't mean to do that. I needed to do that. Or needed to do that. That's it. That'll do it. So, over here, ScienceDaily.com. Scientists propose a plan to determine if Planet 9 is a primordial black hole. So, again, I'm not going to read all of this. I encourage you to go and read it for yourself. But this is where what I call the really interesting, cool astrophysicist comes into, Avi Loeb. I am going to try and get him on the Kev Bake Show. We've got a good history with getting like proper scientists on. Brian Keating. He just recently spoke to Carl Sagan's wife and daughter on his podcast. We've also got Brendan Drackler that comes in. So I'm going to reach out. I'll try and use my contacts at Ground Zero to get this cat to come on the stream or come on the show, okay? That's going to be my next big mission for the show. So scientists at Harvard University and the Black Hole Initiative have developed a new method to find black holes in the outer solar system, and along with it, determine once and for all the true nature of the hypothesized Planet 9. You see, it's interesting to say that because there's something affecting the clumpage out there. Can we use the word clumpage? We did. So something's affecting those trans-Neptunian clumps. Something's pulling on them, pushing on them. They're not orbiting perfectly. So it doesn't matter if you don't believe it's a planet, doesn't matter if you don't believe it's a black hole. You have to at least think to yourself, there's something out there causing a reaction. There's an action and a reaction. These planets wouldn't well, not planets, little clumps. They wouldn't be perturbating. There wouldn't be like variations or wobbles on their orbit if there wasn't something there. Now that's not me saying what it is, but it seems as if scientists and astrophysicists are troubled enough that it's got them all thinking, right? Because they haven't come back and said, well, that's it. We didn't find Planet 9, so game over. No, the conditions that led to them theorizing about Planet 9, they still exist. There's still something, doing something to those outer rocks. So they're now shifting gears, and the whole black hole hypothesis? Dang. So it says the paper, accepted to the Astrophysical Journal letters, highlights the ability of Future Legacy Survey of Space and Time, LSST mission, to observe accretion flares, in the presence of which could rule out Planet 9 as a black hole. So if they observe accretion flares, the presence of which could rule out Planet 9 as a black hole, Dr. Avi Loeb, Frank B. Baird, Junior Professor of Science at Harvard, and Amir Siraj, a Harvard undergraduate student, have developed the new method to search for black holes in the outer solar system. Now, we're used to hearing about the supermassive black hole out there in the middle of the galaxy, and I think it was 2016, they found another black hole in and around there. So you got Sagittarius A and Sagittarius B. I've probably got that totally wrong, and anyone that's in astrophysics is going to go clown. In fact, talking to clowns, I'll do it for you if I got it wrong, right? We'll Google that in a minute. But does anyone else not feel just a little bit disconcerted that there might be like some growing black hole on the edge of the solar system any other year, eh? Any other year but 2020, I would imagine that would be making headline news. But now, it's okay. It's just a black hole. What could go wrong there, right? So I'm not going to read through all of this, but I'm going to give you some other stuff that makes it really weird and really woo. You knew I would. So it says here that they've developed a new method to search for black holes in the outer solar system based on flares that result from disruption of intercepted comets. Now, the study suggests that the LSST has the ability to find black holes by observing for accretion flares resulting from the impact of small Oort cloud objects. So think of it, and it's going to say it here, I'd imagine, but anything that comes into direct contact or into that black hole's field of influence, you're going to get the kind of the effects of something going in there, something being affected by it, be it light coming off it, be it radiation, something like that. So it says here, in the vicinity of a black hole, small bodies that approach it melt as the result of heating from the background accretion of gas from the interstellar medium onto the black hole. Once they melt, the small bodies are usually are subject to tidal disruption by the black hole, followed by accretion from the tidally disrupted body onto the black hole. Now, I'm going to have Brendan Drackler coming onto the show real soon. He comes on once a month, right? And he's going to be really good to speak to on this, because if you think of what Brendan's doing at the Rochester Institute of Technology, he's, along with his team, he always reminds me to give them credit as well, but him and his team are like writing a simulation that will hopefully show what happens in, I think it's almost like 1/300th of a second of these two black holes merging and interacting. That's what this like massive project they're all working on is. for just that one, like, split second in time of what that interaction would look like, then the simulation will tell them, well, you see X, Y, Z coming off things when you get that. And then Brendan and his team can say to the astrophysicists and all the telescopes around the world, you want to be looking for X, Y, Z that the simulation gave us, because that might be a telltale sign that we've got two merging. Point being, he's going to be better at explaining just what is going on with this black hole theory, because I'm not a scientist, in case you hadn't worked that out. But I do like my sci-fi. Oh, I really like my sci-fi. And then when I was reading this story, I was sitting there thinking, this almost rings a bell. There's almost something in my mind, like I've watched something not too distant past about scientists detecting a black hole in our solar system. Predictive programming? Any of you done a bit of that? Revelation of the method? Perhaps what we talk about on the show. The producers, the writers, they got together, they thought they were coming up with something original, but maybe they were tapping into news of a black hole that is yet to come into our present time. Were they picking up messages from the future? It's highly speculatory, but I do have a movie that eerily mirrors what's going on here. And it's even more eerie when you realise what that main programming message of the movie I'm about to show you really is. So if we come over to this here. Boom. Now, this here's a movie called The Beyond. It's from 2018. I'm going to play all of about 3 seconds here with me talking over the top of it to just show you what I'm talking about. Because this is the trailer for the movie. Check this out.
It's the possibility of something else out there for us.
It changes everything.
It's that simple notion which drives the Human 2.0 project.
Okay, so if we go back there,
Which drives
you can see the whole that there. That's what we really wanted. This whole movie is about them discovering a small black hole that eventually opens into a wormhole. And through that wormhole, they managed to send an astronaut. And the story comes from there. But a major part of the story is also transhumanism. Human 2.0. And there's a lot of talk about that round about 2020 with everything going on in the world right now. So I thought I'd bring that up. That was quite interesting. It's almost like when I was reading the story again, I've been programmed. It was familiar. I've kind of heard that before, albeit in a science fiction-y kind of setting. And if I stayed science fiction-y, and I'm going to be blatantly clear in being science fiction-y, what if we talk about the rise and the fall of civilizations, right? You have periods of renaissance and you have periods of absolute grim, look outside your window, go and read the newspapers, look at the news right now kind of times, right? What if? Just what if? What if? And even you could maybe say the Mayans as well. Maybe they were pointing to something around this time, weren't they? Thousands of years ago, they were saying, "Oh, Baker, all of you guys out there on YouTube, you're gonna maybe want to listen to what we're saying." Because what if that heralding of going back into a golden age? What if the golden age is something to do with some kind of anomaly in space that maybe we're able to communicate through? Maybe we're able to travel through. Remember, we don't really know too much about black holes, and by the sounds of it, these cats that are looking for whatever's on the edge of the solar system, they don't even know for a fact, or not even sure if it's a black hole in the first place. So What if? And again, speculation, sci-fi stuff. Not telling you this is happening. I don't have a secret, like, faithless whistleblower from Area 51. I wish I did. I don't. But it's just a thought. I'm not even bothered if everyone thinks it's silly. It's just, I wonder. I wonder. Big sci-fi fan. I think I've told you that before. But I've been listening to a series of books on Audible. In that, there's like an ancient race of beings. You never get to meet them, you never get to see them, but they're the ones that were out there putting together like a wormhole network. And what they used to control the network of wormholes, was really super advanced AI. Like, as in super advanced. One of them came in the form of like a beer can. But as you come to learn early on, the beer can's just like a screen. It's just like your mobile phone. It's just a conduit. It's just a thing, right? Because in reality, what you find out is that the AI is pretty much living in another dimension. Outside of space and time. Very much along the lines of what our good friend Geordie Rose talks about when qubits go here, there, everywhere. Parallel realities. Remember, it was parallel realities, not alternative dimensions, not other worlds. Parallel realities. Does make you wonder, doesn't it? He's right, it's a good kind of basis for a book. Maybe I need to get to work on that book, right? But I don't know. And I'm not getting one of my spidey senses. I'm not getting some kind of channeling some higher force or anything. But I think there's something weird going on here with this story. And I think it's going to get weirder if we get to know more about it. Because at some point, if there's a crazy black hole out there and it's starting to eat away at the Oort cloud, and I don't know the mechanics of a black hole all that well, but if it starts getting angrier and bigger and spreading, I mean, does that like start to cause problems with the outer planets in the solar system? Are we going to start seeing them perturbed more? Are they going to be pulled off of their usual orbit? I don't know, it's weird, right? Or are the Anunnaki just going to come flying out of it? Looking for their gold. We're back, it's pay time, guys. Uh-oh, where's all the gold? That's easy enough. You just need to look for a 0.0001% of the population Anunnaki, and it ain't nothing to do with us. Maybe that's what we need. We need the Anunnaki card. I don't know. It's pretty weird, right? It's pretty weird. Black holes on the edge of our own solar system. And I think you can't talk about this without bringing up Anthony Patch and all the work he does, and I helped him with CERN. I don't know how CERN could connect to any kind of space anomaly on the outer solar system. I really don't. But then again, do we really know exactly what they're messing with there? Do they even know what they're messing with? You know, when you're ripping apart the fabric of space and time and analysing all the building blocks that puts it together, and in their own words, trying to recreate the moments after that Big Bang, you know, the Big Bang that resulted in all of this, do they even know? Can they comprehend what they're doing? Knock-on effects? I don't know. I really don't know. But only in 2020 would you get news about the possibility of a black hole. Remember, these black holes, they're pretty vicious. They are not woke at all. They don't care. They do. In fact, they're quite diverse. Very diverse. They'll take matter of any kind, and they won't even let light escape. Yes. So a very woke black hole. Black holes matter on the edge of the solar system. Interesting, huh? We'll need to keep an eye on that one for sure. Now I'm going to get a drink of coffee. I'm going to come back and we're going to get into something even more mysterious going on in space. And it involves one of the channels that I like to follow on a regular basis. So if you want to go and grab a cup of coffee, now is the time to do it. I'll be back in a couple of seconds. I'm going to put on the tunes. We're going to sit here and we're going to watch my, as Anne calls it, the Blue Oyster Bar introduction video, but she's bad to me, isn't she? So yeah, I'm gonna get a drink of my coffee. We'll be back in a moment, and then we're gonna talk about the Galactic Wave. Edward, good to see you in the chat, brother. And Edward is one of the latest additions to our Rogues Gallery. Look at him there up the top. He's winking. He's got the Illuminati eye on. Are you trying to tell us a coded message, Edward? We've got Manarus, Brian. Look at Carol. She's looking all shy and embarrassed there. We've got Billy Joe with a thumbs up. Spooky Andy looks absolutely terrifying. But I need to there's one day I'll show you a video of Spooky Andy. Oh my goodness. Dang, the things you can do with photo filters, AI and mobile phones. It's crazy. There he is, the man himself, Jason, first paranormal. Mammoth Hunter, coming in all the way from down under. Then we have a very, very handsome Thumb. And Just Be Happy as well. And look at that, Polynation. They're like brothers there. And the Wookiee. Everyone's doing a thumb thing here. Oh, Jason's got the two fingers though. So Polly's there, the Wookiee, there she is. And C, kill brackets on, Chew, kill brackets off. Yep, she trusts the scam. Edward, is that nice? I have never tried oysters. Love seafood, man. Love seafood. Never tried the oysters. They looked a little bit like, yeah, nostril kind of bogies to me. Not far wrong though, right? Oysters look like fish that should have came from up your nose. Just an observation I made at one point. Nasty. Exactly, Leona. And yeah, let's get back into this, shall we? Clear the throat, get ready for round 2. Because this is actually back to the more serious stuff. I've been watching Ben Davidson, Suspicious Observers Forever. Love his channel, love the space news. I'll be the first to admit, some of it's way over the top of my head. That cat's way super uber intelligent, right? But he talks about something called the Galactic Wave. This current of almost energy, electricity that comes out from the center of our galaxy. And when he speculates about this, he backs it up with possible evidence that this wave is incoming and coming our way. And the way he does that is he looks at how our nearby stars are acting. And in recent times, we've had big flaring events on nearby stars that may, and Ben is the first to tell you it doesn't prove anything, but it may be indicative of this wave of energy that's coming our way that will cause the flun. The flun? What? Where the hell did I get that? It will cause the sun. Ah yes, the flun in the skies. A very flunny day today. Who knew? But yeah, it'll cause the sun to super flare. Now, that's not all doomy and gloomy. It's just part of this whole theory about the galactic super wave / energetic wave. Call it what you will. I know ZX, he follows Ben as well. And there's this scientific paper the other day, and I'm going to play a clip from Ben as well talking about it. But when I seen this on the same website that I got the whole Planet 9 black hole thing from, it's going to be one of these days. I can't talk anymore. I noticed this on the side and it really caught my attention because I thought, well, that sounds like the kind of thing Ben Davidson talks about. An enormous super flare detected on a nearby star. Now I'm going to play just a little clip from Ben's latest, or one of his latest videos. This comes from the 12th of July. And this little segment we're going to listen to right here. Better subscribe to him on the backup channel. There you go. What this is going to do is, this is going to explain the super flare and whether or not it ties in with the signs in the sky that point towards a cataclysm. Now, I urge you all to check out Suspicious Observers. He's got a playlist with all of the back information, all of the previous videos, which really comprehensively, even for somebody that doesn't understand much about space, he makes it really easy to understand without baffling you with all the kind of word pasta that sometimes people get involved in. People like me to try and paper over the cracks over the fact I'm stupid. You get it? He's good at explaining this stuff. Why? Because he knows it. Take a listen to this.
We've seen another star go off, and it's worth looking at in terms of the near-space potential galactic sheet interactions. A super flare was discovered recently on AD Leonis, a star 16 light-years away. It was a powerful event, but it also makes us ask if it could be a signal like Barnard's star and Proxima Centauri were.
Now, those two are the previous stars that I mentioned that have shown some kind of flaring, flashing. Proxima Centauri is not far from us, folks. I believe Proxima Centauri is about 4 light years. I'll check that in a moment.
Now those two are basically in a line towards the center of the galaxy, but AD Leonis is not. As we look at the center of the galaxy, you need to look behind the sun's motion to the west and a bit northward. Basically, at only 16 light-years away, it's on the same distance from the center of the galaxy, just that little bit north and again behind in our orbit around the galaxy. Remember that the current sheets catch up to the orbiters in the galaxy and orbiters of all sphere magnets, so this one behind us would go off first, but just barely. And so with 3 nearby stars giving record events, likely in the appropriate order, and with the Plutonian collapse over the last 3 years, and with all atmosphered planets showing major changes in the system, how much longer could this possibly take? Folks, both the Pluto story, which we've covered the last few weeks, and this AD Leonis superflare story today need to be mentally added to the 2020 Cosmic Disaster playlist.
There you go, folks. That is the playlist I urge you all to check out if you're interested in this kind of thing. Ben's, he's really good. Everyone that talks about earthquakes, you talk about Dutch synths. When it comes to space weather, space news, Ben Davidson, Suspicious Observers, he's up there. Dutch for your earthquakes, this guy for your space weather. And the two actually interact at times when you've got strong solar winds, magnetic fields going down, you know, the Earth getting hit with particles, yep, all that jazz. The two of them, you need to watch the two of them together to get the full kind of benefit out of both channels. I think, anyway. That's just what I think. But I'm going to take a little drink of coffee. I'm going to get rid of this frog in my throat. And then we will come back. And we'll not talk about the Blue Oyster Bar. We'll chill out. We'll think about what's going to be happening today on the main Kev Baker show. And I'll be coming into the chat room to see what you crazy characters are up to today. So kick back, chill out, let's get some tunes on, and I will be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. people in the chat are talking about food. And remember, if this is your first time here on the channel, click that subscribe. Click the bell for all the alerts about when we're going live. And memberships are coming your way. Remember, folks, I'll be back in just a moment. We have got an update on yesterday's weirdness in the woods. Remember, it looked like something had come down in the woods. We've got a little update on that. And then, my man, Nick Redfern, he's been talking about tulpas. Big shout out to our boy Julian as well. Lessons for Life. That's lessons number 4 life. Find him here on YouTube. That guy does some really good live streams, folks. He really does. He hits all the hot topics of the day. Go and head on over to Lessons for Life. In fact, I'll pull it up on the channel. Give me 2 seconds. Lessons for Life. Boom. There we are. If I bring you over here, ba-ba-boom, bada-boom. There we go. Just lessons, number 4 life, and then you can go in there. He's getting up near 2,000 subscribers now. That's fantastic. And yeah, there you go. There he is there. Our very own Julian. He's one of our own. Look at that. That's almost what his hairdo looks like now. That's a Russian hat, but he's actually wearing that as a hairdo now. Craziest hair ever, man. It's awesome. So yeah, that's our boy Julian, and of course he's been on the show with me before. Just an absolutely great guy altogether. So then, let's take a look at the update on yesterday's UFO story. This one here. Now, what is it? I'm hearing sighing and grunting and in the background. What's wrong, Anne? What have I forgot to do? I know you're on holiday and this is your day off and everything. What do you need me to do, Anne? What is it? Do you need me to do anything? So if I get hit with a shoe in the next 5 minutes, that's just totally unwarranted because I've asked you if you need anything done. So then, anyway. Remember, the police are in the building now. The police are in the building. I'm not even lying, folks. You see, I'm that laid back and horizontal and don't give two hoots. The police are wondering about the building. I don't even care. But anyway, let's get into this, right? A dog walker that claimed to find a UFO crash site in England. So we have this picture down here. Okay, we don't have the picture anymore. Well, we've got the picture here. Hang on. There we go. So we've got pictures in here. Remember this yesterday? Remember it? Well, the Mysterious Universe have actually really gone to town on this one. They've kind of really taken a look at the guy involved, everything else to see if this is some kind of hoax going on. But it says, boom, weird. Massive gap in the woods. All the trees bent, trees falling over. Massive hole in the woods. Aliens. So if you heard something weird and saw these things while walking your dog in the local woods, would you conclude that you just missed seeing a UFO crashed? Well, based on the slim evidence of a man in Cornwall reported his findings to the local media, including photographs and video. And we watched that yesterday. And it's just that, and threw in that he ran from the woods because he heard screams. Now, this is a new part. We never heard this part in the previous story, right? Is this an actual UFO encounter? A misinterpretation of weather phenomena? A hoax? Or something else? So we took the pictures and then felt someone was watching us and heard weird sounds, so we ran back to our camper. Something strange about this place. So the guy that took the pictures is called Ben Landrycombe. He told Cornwall Live that he, his dog, and possibly someone else were walking in the Meaden Green Local Nature Reserve, a beautiful preserve in the northeastern corner of Cornwall, on the border with Devon at about 4 p.m. on July 13th when they heard weird noises. Found fallen trees, took a quick video, and then ran back to the camper. So that seems to be the extent of Landrycombe's report of the site. Trees snapped at the top, no burn marks, strange indentations that might indicate an emergency landing, debris that might indicate a crash, aliens, missing time, odd smells, sights of anything falling or rising from the ground. Nothing else to add more dots before assuming. Nothing else to add more dots before assuming they connect into a UFO crash site. So looking at the video and the photos, this scene resembles the aftermath of a wind shear or small tornado. Now, a quick search didn't pick up any other witnesses nor any history of strange phenomena in the area. And on the other hand, there's not much other evidence that points to weather either. And this is where it gets really interesting, right? Because hoax, question mark? Landrycombe's Facebook page lists his current occupation as a landscape gardener, so he should know when broken branches do not have a natural cause. His previous occupation was gardener for the city government, so he may even have worked in these very woods. He also appears to be a good-natured photographer, and his page shows him to be a surfer. And that's where the story takes an interesting twist. Because this isn't the first time this dude's been in the news before. And the last time he was in the news turned out to be a bit of a hoax. So it did. So it says here that Ben Landrycombe shows up in a 2018 article in Plymouth Live about revealing a so-called secret surf site on the Plymouth Sound where rare swells occur only 3 times a year, and its location had been hidden from the general surfing public until he posted pictures and info. This is where it gets weird, because never in my wildest dreams did I know that the surfing community were so, well, get a load of this. He was branded a surf snitch, one of a number of insults painted in red on his white truck. Surfers can be so cruel. So what was the UFO story made up to prank these trolls in revenge? It was an accident, and I just wanted to try and show some cool angles of the wave. I'm not a bad guy. I sort of wish I'd never took the shots, but a lesson learned. It's gotten way out of hand. I'm a mellow surfer with good vibes, and then you get these angry surfers who punch the water and scream when they make mistakes. So it sounds like Landy Combe was sincere in his apology and later turned Surf Lemons into surfer gear. The grift is on. Made into surfer gear lemonade by selling a line of t-shirts and stickers with the words Surf Snitch on them. Does this sound like a hoaxster? That depends on whether he comes out with a line of UFO crash site spotter t-shirts and stickers, doesn't it? And like me, the Mysterious Universe are giving Landy Chrome the benefit of the doubt that he definitely found something in Meddon Green Local Nature Reserve that was caused by a strange phenomenon. But much more evidence is needed to move the needle to UFO crash and have alien trolls branding him a UFO snitch. So yes, and thank you, Russell. Yes, if you want to help us out in the algorithm, that little thumbs up does a world of good. I don't know why, but it truly does. Or at least everyone thinks it does. So we'll go with that, and I would really appreciate it. Listen, I don't think this guy was hoaxing this. What do we see here? We go here again. I don't want to play the video. In fact, it doesn't. We'll play it. Let's do it. It's only a couple of
Something's
seconds.
definitely crashed here. Look at this.
Okay, so we can't even see it, right? So we'll come down and look at that. Now, there's one of the pictures, and he kind of pans around in the video. See if it's come up here. There it is.
Weird. Massive gap in the ocean, in the woods. All the trees bent. Trees falling over. Massive hole in the woods. Aliens.
I don't know. I'm only laughing because, yep, trees bent over there. Yeah, you got trees bent down over here. Yep, hole in the woods. Aliens. That's brilliant. Come on. I'm going to take that for a sound clip. Aliens. Let's hear him saying the aliens again. That's pretty cool.
Hole in the woods. Aliens.
Yep. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's definitely...
Aliens.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. So listen, I don't know what this cat's found here. It's a pretty weird shaped UFO, because it goes up that way as well, off the side of the picture there. Could it be some kind of tornado type things? I don't know. Polly says they're felled. Let's have another little look again. It's hard to tell. You're not really... See, I mean, this one here, look at this one here. That's come right up out the ground. That's not been felled, that one. That looks like that's been pulled up, like the roots there. Maybe it's wrong. Hard to tell. Those ones over there. See, it's hard to tell. I mean, it looks like there's one completely down there, and then there's ones in front of it that are okay, and then it's weird, right? Marty. Much love to you, Marty. That's okay. That's okay. Never apologise about missing parts of the show. All good nude. All good nude. So, I don't know. It's a strange one, this. Oh, Anne's got the beady eye on it, but she's growling at it. She's not impressed. Not past the Anne sniff test. It doesn't even make it to the table of the X-Files. The amount of woo I have to discard because it doesn't pass as Anne's smell test. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for Anne, we would be in a really bad place. We'd be in amongst all that clickbaity stuff. I'm telling you, she keeps me on the straight and narrow. So she does. Just about. So, just about. So, that one there, folks, that still puzzles me. Polly, I'll definitely be asking you tonight on the show if you phone in, brother. Yeah, not cut down. See, not cut down by impact. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know, it's just... kind of bizarre. And I don't know what a wind shear or a tornado touching down looks like. I don't. Funnily enough, over here in the UK, it's not the kind of thing that we're kind of familiar with. But that being said, I did see some images of a tornado just recently. Hang on now. Anyone, if you're looking for a good browser to use, Brave. I'm really enjoying this browser, I must admit. Oh, 3 hours ago. Ah, there we go. It's an update on this story. You see, folks, we'll do it live. Solved. It was a tornado tore down trees, or so we're told. Or is this what the men in black would say anyway? To kind of muddy the waters. You know, you see? Come on, Anne, sing. Can you see Anne on there? No, it looks like I'm talking to myself and my hat's in a silly place. Now they think I've got 3 hands and I look really weird. So, on here then, this is it, folks. We're going to nail it. We're going to finish this story. We're going to wrap a nice band of alien woo right around the middle of it and tie it in a nice neat bow. Says the Met Office, never trust them, has said a mini tornado or funnel cloud, not a UFO, probably tore down trees in Devon woodland. Ben Landycombe from Plymouth discovered the toppled trees, which he said looked like an alien crash site. He didn't, he just said aliens. Aliens. That's how he said it. While taking his dog for a walk on woodland near Medan. Now, a government department, a government department, not just a nameless government department. Oh, definitely Men in Black music for that. That's a clue, Anne. You should know that. That's definitely a clue. In conspiracy world, that's a clue, right? It said it believes that the trees are wind blow. Never heard of that before. But also said woodlands are no strangers to UFO sightings. Whoa, hang on. We had an unnamed UK government department saying, yep, could well be wind blow. Okay. But they also said, wait for it, it could be. It just could be. It might be. Dare we say it? It is. It is. No, wrong one. It is. It is. It is.
Aliens.
Aliens. See? Told you. In fact, I'm going to record that right now. I need that sound clip. If I go in here, take that off there. Then.
Aliens. Aliens.
There we go, folks. There we go. I've got my aliens. We've got them now. Not saying it's aliens, but...
Aliens.
I love that. There we go. What? Damn. Have you ever had anyone like breathing, like you feel hot breath on the back of your neck when you're doing like a stream or something like that? It feels like it's the back of my neck and it's really disconcerting. Feels like we're all about to go a bit broke back in here in a moment, honestly. Don't like breath on the back of my neck.
Two different points there. The first
Who's
is
talking?
You've tested over 30,000 people now with the antibody test, and in a really...
Okay, somebody's talking about some really crazy stuff, so that's getting switched off. But if we come down here, now the Exeter-based Met Office has said that a mini tornado, right, done that. After studying the photographs, a Met spokesperson told us, I suspect this has been caused by a funnel cloud or mini tornado that may have touched down at the point in the woods, causing the trees to snap and fall on top of each other. Mini tornadoes do not last very long in the UK, hence there is no obvious path of destruction, and it probably would have started and been over within a matter of seconds or minutes. Imagine them describing their love life like that. This may have happened several weeks ago, but only now has it been discovered by the man. You the man, Ben Landycombe, the man. Oh, you got a thug life as well? How cool is that?
Aliens.
Aliens. The Met Office says that it sees around 30 to 50 tornadoes each year, but very rare. and that they are strong enough to cause, but very rare they are strong enough to cause any damage. So there you go, folks. We may we may have actually just solved it. A government department coming out and giving us an explanation and keeping the woo factor open. I like it. I do like it. The Met Office have gone up astronomically in my estimations. Not that I've ever spent any time thinking about the Met Office in my life. But hey, you know what I'm going to do, folks? I'm going to use this story tonight, maybe while we're waiting for some phone calls to come in. Creating our very own creatures of the paranormal type. Now, this is kind of weird, isn't it? Put a 1 in there in the chat if you listened to last night's show. If you listened to last night's Kev Baker show, shove a 1 in. Okay? Because in that show, remember I said I'd found a clip and I was really uncomfortable playing it because I knew I would get complaints from some of the more staunchly devout Christian people that listen to the show, and that's not me moaning about that. But I could preempt what people would say because this creepypasta story was called The Shadow Man Game. And it was all about, again, fictional, but it could have been taken the wrong way because it's really creepy. I had to turn it off. But it was all about a ritual to summon a shadow entity, right? Well, today, and listen, it says the 16th here of July. That's, this website is obviously ahead of the dateline. It's in Australia, something like that. But this is like Nick Redfern's birthday present to me, because isn't this exactly the same thing that I decided not to play on the show last night? But now it's appeared in a different form. It's not a fictional narrative. It's a researcher's take on the kind of thing that led to the Shadow Man game. And that Shadow Man game, that is one creepy clip. Maybe I will play it one night. If people don't understand that it's just fiction and just for creepy woo, maybe that's more on them than it is on me. I don't know. But this story tonight, I think this one is definitely going to provide some filler in between the calls. And on that note, it's 9:11 here in the UK. That means I've got 49 minutes to prepare for tonight's show. And today's show, it's over to you. Because I'm kicking back. It's my birthday week, god damn it. You know, so I'm kicking back tonight. I'm opening up the phones. We're going to have Polly calling in. You can talk about anything. We're going to be on radio over on tfrlive.com. And over there we can speak freely and not worry about algorithmic Olympics and verbal gymnastics to get us over the finish line. We can speak free and easy. One of the few places that you can do that anymore. Before I go to my callers tonight, though, Leona says, don't we have enough shadow men? I think we do. We do, but this is a really creepy story, Leona. And it's just a story. Or is it? So before I do open up the phones for Polly and anyone else who wants to call in today, and I'd love you to call in, folks. I mean, personally, I'd love it if you spoke woo, but it doesn't matter because it's an open mic. You talk about what you want. Polly's coming on to talk about items of clothing that go on our face. I like how I've done that. And but before I do that, I'm going to be addressing something else as well. Another Canadian. Yes, bad day, really grim day. More and more of my favourite YouTubers are disappearing, folks. I'll give that a quick talk on the main show today. I think you'll all understand why. I won't be addressing it here. Just shocking. But I'm not going to let that put a downer on what's been a pretty fun stream. And to kind of encapsulate it all, Scientists truly are hunting for something very mysterious in our own solar system, just like I said on the title. And what that interesting thing is, well, it's gone from being potentially Planet 9, or some people still give Pluto the credit it's due, which would make the new planet Planet 10. But after a couple of years of searching for that, they've now decided, well, it can't be a planet that's causing these wobbles in the dangleberries that hang out in the Oort cloud behind Uranus. No, it's the Neptunian ones, remember? The trans-Neptunian ones. We already had that joke, I'm not going there again. But they still think something's out there, wreaking havoc, potentially pulling and pushing on things. And now it's a black hole that they're looking for. Nothing to worry about there then, right? I mean, supermassive black holes, and this isn't supermassive. They're looking for something the size of a grapefruit outside, like further away than Pluto. Good luck with that one, guys. Good luck with that. So we'll keep an eye on that story. Also, when it comes to space, I highly recommend you follow Ben Davidson. You gorge out, binge watch the Earth Cataclysm series that he's got. Not because it's doomy, fear porny type stuff, but because there's something there. There is something feasible that he's definitely onto something. And these stars that are flashing, it's indicative of something. But what? I don't know. Ben Davidson's got your back on that one, though. And I'll be going live. As Lee and John say on the John and Lee show. Then, so I'm stealing that from you guys. Yeah, I'm blatantly plagiarizing that. But join me, please, if you do have time, over on the main show today. We'll get the phones opened up. We'll hear from Polynation. I want to hear from all of you as well. Hopefully we'll get Granny calling in from Canada. I've not heard from Granny for so long. Hope her and Granda are doing very, very well out there. And I hope all of you are doing well as well. Give yourselves a giant pat on the back. 2020, July the 15th, and we are still clinging on to this crazy old rock, flying through space at a rate of knots that is unimaginable. I'm telling you, isn't it a great ride? Absolutely it is. So on that note, it's time for me to have my coffee, get refreshed, get warmed up, and go again. And I want to see all of you there with me as well on tfrlive.com/chat, on iHeartRadio, TalkStream Live, TuneIn Radio, Paranormal Radio app. I tell you, there's so many different ways to listen. No excuses. And if all else fails, come and join us over in our very private VIP room over on the Discord channel. So that leaves only one thing. Keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. It's subscribe if you're new to the channel. Daily content coming at you right from the heartland of Scotland, all the way around the world, right here on KBS 2. Remember to tune into KBS on TFR in just over half an hour's time. I'm out of here. Just remember, the next time you see me, I'm going to be an old man.
How dare you?
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
No, not an old man. Definitely man.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Oh, whatever.
How dare you?
Alien.